Hello everyone, my name is Asif Hamidullah from the Global Certification Forum. At the GCF, I'm responsible for leading the certification activities for various IoT programs and GCF support for new verticals. Today I would like to talk to you about the GCF Consumer IoT Security Self-Accreditation Program that was just recently launched. Before we get into the details, I would like to share with you a little bit about the GCF. We are a nonprofit organization founded in 1999 whose members are some of the Tier 1 global mobile network operators, device manufacturers, test labs, test equipment vendors, and other participants from the testing industry. Currently, we have over 300 plus member companies worldwide, all working together to develop the certification criteria for mobile devices and IoT products. GCF is globally recognized as providing the quality mark for the interoperability of devices with the network. Our certification is based on test specifications defined by various standard development organizations, or SDOs, including 3GPP and their partners like ETSI, 1M2M, GSMA, OMA, NFC Forum, and the CTIA. More recently, we have engaged with other industry organizations from various different verticals in the IoT space to ensure we're able to address some of the needs and requirements for product certification in those specific areas. This slide captures some of the industry partners that we're working very closely with. Obviously, we have a very close relationship with 3GPP as the core GCF certification program is based on 3GPP RAN 5 work items as we move from 3G, 4G, and now to 5G. We do have a very close relationship with GSMA as well, as our field trial certification is based on the TS11 specification, and our standalone eSIM certification program was jointly developed with them. We have a partnership with 1M2M and a similar 1M2M standalone certification offering. And in recent times, we have been closely engaged with the 5G AA for automotive CV2X certification, TCCA for mission critical, and other organizations like the 450 Alliance. With respect to certification, GCF has a very streamlined three-step process to certify a product labeled Test, Certify, and Connect. Step 1, or test, is when a manufacturer member brings their product to a GCF-recognized test organization, or RTO, identifying what features and functionality that product supports. Working with an assessment-capable entity, the manufacturer would determine what specific test cases needs to be executed in conformance, field, and/or interoperability test environments for the certification of that product and then having the applicable test executed at the RTO's facility. Once the testing is done, the manufacturer moves on to step 2, or certify. This is where they make an online declaration for the product complying to all of the underlying requirements and tests needed to achieve certification, and providing evidence of conformity, i.e. the test results. Once the declaration is uploaded, the product is considered certified. This certification process is available 24/7, 365 days a year, so the manufacturer can submit their declarations at their leisure, and can also choose as to when the certification information is made public. And the great news is that the GCF doesn't charge any certification fee for a manufacturer to certify a product. The manufacturer can certify one product or multiple products in a given calendar year, and the only fees they pay to GCF is their annual membership fee. Third step, or connect, is when the declaration has been made and the product is considered certified, the manufacturer can now take that product and commercialize it anywhere in the world where GCF certification is accepted. So while GCF has been focused in the past on 3G, 4G, and now of course with 5G certification for mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, and others, we know that in this ever-changing landscape, there are more and more different types of connected products coming onto the mobile networks. And the next frontier for certification is really in the IoT space. So the GCF has been preparing to extend its state-of-the-art certification program framework to support multiple new IoT verticals. And these are for devices that can be connected to someone's home, or at large-scale industry IoT locations, all enabled for upcoming smart city deployments. Well, we're all familiar with the projected growth of IoT. I believe the statistic of 25 billion connected devices by 2025 has been projected by the industry, and cellular IoT makes up a significant chunk of these connections. We also have newer technologies helping this trend, including AI, machine learning, and big data analytics, that many of the service providers are looking to capitalize on to understand their target markets. This makes security requirements all the more important to consider, as there will be many more connected interfaces that share user data across multiple platforms, and ensuring these interfaces and platforms are secure and protect user information will be paramount. So with respect to IoT security, GCF has been working with its members over the past 9 months to develop a consumer IoT security accreditation program that begins to address some of these security issues that we just talked about. In phase 1, the program is being offered as a self-accreditation program that requires the manufacturer to submit a security compliance declaration that covers the top 3 security provisions as defined in ETSI's EN3 or 3645 standard. These include no universal default passwords, implementing a means to manage and report vulnerabilities, and to keep software updated. For each of these provisions, additional details on the compliance and associated information are required to be provided. Over time, the GCF will look to add additional provisions as the standards mature and investigate the use of third-party testing to verify conformance. For GCF, some of our key objectives with such a program is to ensure that consumers who are purchasing these connected products have a minimum level of security that is being considered in their design and development. Similarly, we want to also make sure that the service providers are not impacted negatively due to rogue products accessing wireless networks. And of course, governments worldwide are taking security very seriously, and we at the GCF want to ensure that industry is one step ahead of any form of regulation that enters the market by aligning on these requirements. Overall, we feel that having both the integrity of the device and network in perspective will allow for a better service experience for all parties involved. So the way the program will work is as follows. The accreditation scheme will be offered to any product manufacturer, regardless of whether they're a GCF member or not. It is completely independent of the core GCF certification scheme. The declaration is targeted for any consumer IoT product supporting any underlying IoT technology, not just products supporting 3GPP-based technologies. We've developed a dedicated portal that will contain all the information and outline the steps required to undergo the accreditation. This includes signing a GCF user agreement, downloading the Consumer IoT Security Procedures document, and submitting a completed declaration form. The GCF office will review the declarations, and successful declarations will be posted on a public portal. The listing will include product information and its levels of compliance. Here you can view the overall process flow on exactly how the transactions will occur between the various process elements. The product manufacturer signs a user agreement, downloads the declaration form and any associated documentation from the GCF portal, and then submits that completed declaration to the GCF office. The office reviews and confirms receipt of declaration and then invoices for the service, if applicable. As you can see, there will be a fee charged for non-members to undergo the accreditation, whereas the service will be offered for free to any GCF member. Once the payment has been made, the GCF office will update the portal with the product listing and inform the manufacturer of the outcome. Any revenues generated from the service will be used to upkeep the program and be used to fund phase 2 of the program development. The program can be accessible from iotsecurity.globalcertificationforum.org. And there, the user will have various options available to view and access details of the program, such as learning a bit more about what the program is about, the declaration process, listing of accredited devices, and actually submitting an accreditation request. This portal is now up and running, and we encourage you to go to this website to find out more details. Here is an example of how the accreditation listing will look like. For every published declaration, you'll have a GCF reference number and the date when the accreditation was made, the name of the manufacturer, the product model number, as well as URL for the product, where you can get more information about the details of the product itself, a public point of contact of the manufacturer that can take any queries that may be coming in from the public, the compliance version to which it was declared to, and the date the declaration was last updated. And lastly, there will be an ability to view the details of the declaration itself, i.e. to understand specifically what areas of compliance the device or product supports. Looking forward, the GCF has already started discussions on evolution of the program as part of its Phase 2 initiative. Some of the aspects we are investigating include expanding the scope of the accreditation to encompass additional security provisions specified in EN 303645. We are also monitoring the development of the ETSI TS 103701, which is a test specification that serves as a baseline for conformity assessment of the 303645 standard. We will look to see if our third-party testing programs can be leveraged to incorporate testing of the standard and its applicability for Phase 2. There has also been a lot of discussion on expanding the scope to not just consumer devices but enterprise IoT products as well, and that is something we'll be looking at more closely. As with all of our programs, the GCF invites interested parties to get in touch with us if you'd like to collaborate in this space. Industry feedback is very important to us, and it is the mechanism by which we will use to refine the program to ensure it meets the ongoing needs. Lastly, we would like to share with you some of the upcoming industry events GCF will be participating at. We're hosting the GCF MENA workshop taking place virtually 23rd to 24th November. We're also exhibiting at the GSMA Latin America Thrive event 1st to 3rd December and at the India Mobile Congress taking place on 8th to 10th December. At each of these events, we'll be discussing and sharing information on our key products including device certification and IoT security accreditation. We invite you to register and join us to explore further the progress of some of these programs we are supporting. You can also connect with us on social media and the web, which is a great way to stay in touch and keep abreast of the latest and greatest at GCF. So I'd like to thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to speak about our IoT security program. If you have any questions or would like further information about the program, you can always get in touch with me directly. My contact details are listed here on the slide, and I'd be more than happy to answer your queries. And of course, please visit our website for more information. Thank you, and hopefully everybody stays safe.